prediction now that you've at least got to see a couple bands?
Oh, hold on. I have to open the stream so I can see them.
Oh my!
Oh, I see the bands. All right. Well, so far we've got Clock Snap, Isle, Tiny. Okay. All right. Personally, I'm kind of favoring Virtus Pro a little bit coming into this. Just I don't know. Just that hunger. OG is so inconsistent that obviously they can win. I think either of these teams can do well, but it's hard for me to. I need to get like a feel of how OG's feeling today. I'll watch game one, and then I'll be like, okay, now I see where the guys are at right now.
So,
you know?
and maybe a question that the two of you can't answer. I see OG is not tagged properly. Do we have mid one playing today? It looks like Thompson's there, so that's good. I think last time you and I cast OG Trent, Thompson was still on paternity leave. So he's back. That's good. Is mid one playing? And if so, is he playing through the ping battle?
That's a great question.
Good question. We don't know, but he might be the Imba Spirit. Like, judging by the nicknames, that could be him.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Well, maybe we can deduce it from the picks here. We'll find out, hopefully, at some point. But either way, Rubik, the opener for OG, Magnus Void for Virtus Pro, already picking up a nice combo. A little Empower, a little hard carry action. I like it.
Yeah, pretty standard stuff coming up from Virtus Pro. Two big team fighting abilities, and this is how OG responds. Already loving it. I've seen this matchup, Faceless Void against Alchemist, where you just become too tanky to kill inside the Chronosphere, and the whole, like, you need to kill Alchemist. If you can't kill him during the Chronosphere, like, what is your plan? Also, one way to deal with Faceless Void during these mid-game fights is to have buybacks, especially like on position 4s, position 5s. If they have like big team fighting ulti, also they could possibly pick something like a Winter Wyvern, which we've seen from just Error Team yesterday, where they like need to have a hero who's going to split the fight, where you have a save against certain heroes like PA, Faceless Void, and you know you're going to be the target, but you can also play around it.
It's so good versus Mag as well. I'm kind of surprised they didn't go for it. I'm sure they didn't just because they didn't want to pick like both the supports quite yet, but the Wyvern already looks very strong. I feel like it's actually worth banning, but at the same time, we've seen a lot of supports coming out versus the Void, being seen as saves, like the Venge, for example. Anyone that can just kind of like, even like Silencer, I've seen picked up quite a bit too.
Silencer's okay. I'd still prefer like Venge. Shadow Demon is coming back once again. I was also surprised that we didn't see too much out of these saving heroes, because like Faceless Void right now, besides PA, is probably the most popular and the strongest carry in the game, and that's, I'm gonna call it an easy way to counter. But if you don't have any counterplay, the Chronosphere, like 1 or 2 guys, if he catches them, they're dead. So you're putting yourself in a bad spot if you don't draft anything with a save.
I forget what I was going to say. I was talking to production. I had a question and I just completely lost it.
Attaboy.
Well, keep on keeping on, boys. Well done. I guess, is this punishable, Alchemist, this early? They banned out the AA. They banned out the Timber. Can you actually cover Alchemist in just 3 bans? Because I don't see Alchemist pick this early.
Yeah,
very often.
Depends which position Mag is going to play. Like, if that's position 5 or 4 Mag, I don't think you can contest the stacks from Alchemist, but you can give Empower to, let's say, a certain hero that is melee. I don't think Faceless Void will go into enemy jungles 7-8 minutes in and just try to steal the stacks, but you also need to have then good heroes that can just invade enemy jungle, stop Alchemist from farming something with the high nuke damage to burst him down, or just clear the stack straight away. Like, one hero that comes to my mind is Lina, maneuverable early on, gets the bottle, and can go into enemy jungle, try to go for those stacks.
Vision heroes too, like Beastmaster sometimes. You know, like pair up with a nuking support and just kind of like roam around, try and mess with the Alch.
So it's one of those, Trent, you and I talk about this a lot. It's not necessarily a hero counter. It's like a playstyle counter. Who can we pick up that can actually invade the jungle? Like Lina, as an example, has a lot of AoE damage, a lot of burst. She can actually steal a stack from him pretty easily.
Yeah, once you get to a certain point, like there's certain heroes that are like just really, really good, like AA that you like have to get rid of. But then after that, it's a combo of like the hero plus the actual playstyle that you're going to have with it.
Okay.
I like the Oracle band. I still think that Shadow Demon you pointed out also looks kind of okay, just because you have Alk as well. But at the same time, the Wyvern's still pretty tempting.
I remember now. What about Earthshaker against Void? You guys mentioned all these defensive heroes. I used to think of Fissure as a really good tool defensively against Chrono. Is that still the case, or is that counter pick kind of fallen off?
I think Shaker scene is kind of bad right now.
Yeah. The nerf on the Fisher is kind of a big deal, and there are other position 4 heroes that can do so much more. And if you're not getting a good timing on a Blink Dagger, I've seen like a couple of games of Earthshaker lately, and he did not look not even good, not even mediocre, not even 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
And you talked about the Vision game, Trent. There it is. Like
They stole it.
pick the Beastmaster. Instant Enchantress counter pick for the board. So what they want to have is Enchantress laning against the Beastmaster. All right, just bring all the auras.
Okay. Chen into Enchantress. Interesting. Obviously, you can enchant creeps, but like you said, Aura Gaming, and now they've got this ability to play pretty fast. You can kind of do a 4+1 around the Alchemist. And the Vision game, not only good to help set up for the Alch, but also to make counter plays against the Faceless Void, really Kunkka and Magnus, right? 3 really good initiation heroes.
I guess that's their vessel buyer, probably the Kunkka.
Yes.
Possibly, yeah. There's a ton of heals, but what they needed is like free AoE. Imagine Kunkka with Empower just stealing the stacks, hitting the summons from Beastmaster, Chen creeps. This is such a great Kunkka game.
Yeah.
Trent, do you concur? Kunkka fan #1 over here?
Hey, I'm always down for the not last pick Kunkka. I mean, what else was left in the pool? There was still like Ember you could see as like being kind of viable as well based on the game, but then you have like certain matchup problems. Plus, then of course you never know who you're gonna lane versus. So like mid laner who is melee benefits from Empower and can roam. Kunkka is big up there.
Ban
so
Death Prophet.
Big fan.
Ban Death Prophet.
That's I don't know if you have to
ban Death Prophet.
No, I know what you're saying because like Death Prophet and the Kunkka is kind of annoying.
Kind of annoying. Last time I brought up that combo, you said Kunkka gets pooped on. You said he can't.
He does, but does he fit that well versus their whole game plan? Like I like the Pugna more because I think the Pugna would be easier for this like OG lineup to just do their Chen stuff with.
Pugna's better against Void for sure. It's amazing counter against Chrono. So I do like that ban. But the spin
OG,
zone,
they don't have any kind of burst. Like look at their heroes. Well, what they need, what Virtus Pro needs, is position 4 hero. At least what OG's thinking. They banned out Lina, who's versatile, but Dark Willow says it's a pause 4. Unless, like, Virtus Pro played him in Scrim and tried something different, but I don't remember seeing Dark Willow at any other position than position 4.
Yeah, no, I think it was probably 4 as well. I think that makes the most sense.
I mean,
someone who can lane with the mag, man, that Lina would be so good. I'm trying to think like who's a good Lina replacement that can like get that work done, but it's hard to match that nuke damage. It's like CM's like kind of okay just because it's like Chen and a Beastmaster, but then your lineup is a little bit weird.
You do kind of want somebody ranged here. You've already got a melee Tricore, and never mind, they do pick up the Elder Titan. But more good team fight. This is a really classic combo with the Void. The Earth Splitter into Chrono. That shit scales so amazingly well into the late game. Very good against Alchemist if you end up going late.
They need to win big on the team fights, though. Their tower pressure is not that great from VP. Ooh. Classic OG, man. I knew there was going to be something really like greedy coming out at the end, but I don't know. When you make this work, then it just feels like the game's over, right? Like getting this free mid lane for the Morphling.
Oh, Topson Morphling. Okay. Yeah, Morphling into ET, though. ET definitely has some options to reduce that armor, allow Void to actually find those kills in the Chrono.
Yeah, that's kind of scary considering how much magic damage he has in Chrono, and then the Spirit's going to be there.
It's a bold pick. What do you think, Lacoste? You digging?
I'm digging Virtus Pro's lineup. I think this is way too greedy from OG. It's Morphling and Alchemist. Like, who's going to buy time for Alchemist? Morphling is really not the hero that wants to move around. But, yeah, this is definitely Kunkka Spirit Vessel rush if I ever seen one against Morphling, against Alchemist, against Chen Heal, and it's a good scaling lineup from Virtus Pro. There's no counterplay to the Chronosphere. They're a bit limited on the damage inside a Chrono, unless there's like ET, Ulti, and the Chronosphere. Kunkka can use both, but I was thinking more of a burst damage. Still strong, very strong team fight coming up from Virtus Pro.
It looks like the game plan comes down to Topson's lane, right, for OG. Has to be good, or they're not going to have a lot of momentum moving into that early game.
I would concur. And with that said, we're going to hand it over to our casters to hear their thoughts. We've got Nomad and 1437 to take it away for game number 1.
Howdy, folks. Thank you very much. Yes, let's get into this matchup. Pro versus OG. I mean, it's an awesome series to start the game. Theban, are you excited?
I'm super excited. There's so much mind games going on between both of these teams, starting from the drafts already. So, looking forward to this game, man. I love these Chen Ench games, you know, since the old times. Let's see how it looks like in 2020.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, we got a couple of throwbacks here, and one of the things I'm most interested in is like them just picking up this Alchemist first phase. It's really given me flashbacks to I believe it was the We Play League, where they went with the Huskar in the safe lane on for mid one, and they did this over and over again, and it didn't go very well. Yet they were really stubborn on making it work. And in the end, it kind of just, it didn't really impress anybody, and they kind of flopped out the tournament. So I'm wondering if this Alchemist thing is going to be this thing around. I mean, has this been popular in high MOR games, or is this something relatively uncommon, which OG are busting out here?
I would say it's quite uncommon. The main reason for this Alchemist pick has a lot to do with the Magnus. I think they just want to have something that can farm faster than this Mag combo, and maybe hit that timing a little bit sooner and just take the fight to them. You see the Beastmaster, the Chen, they're just gonna buff the hell out of this Alchemist and the Morphling. You might even see Alchemist buy an Axe for Morph. This could be one of those strategies that I would not be surprised the OG does, where they just throw everything into this Morph instead of just having the Alchemist be the actual carry.
Well, a bit of trading going on here as we start off this game. Did this boar just get taken by the Enchantress and then taken back by No Tail? So that boar has been on an adventure already, trading hands between 3 different players, and now chasing down Ilias.
That's exactly their plan here, right? They pick the Ench to counter Beast, they pick the Chen, and now every time the Ench steals the boar, yeah, that's a super buffed up boar. 900 HP, and it's already dealing over 30 damage.
This boar is so disloyal, he just keeps changing teams. He's like, no, I want to be unrated. No, I want to be on direct. No, I want to be unrated. I'm an OG fanboy. No, I'm an VP fanboy. Who will he end up staying for is the question. Are they going to keep this going is the other question. Damn, that's a tanky boar.
It hurts too. This Ench is not very happy right now.
No, she is not. No, she is not. All right, interesting start to the bottom lane. Meanwhile, over at mid, we've got Thompson versus GPK, the Morphling versus the Kunkka. How does this matchup usually go?
I think Thompson's gonna be plenty fine in this lane. Like, if he makes a mistake, he might die once, but even after that, as soon as he hits like level 3, the level 5 timings, he's not gonna die anymore. Pretty much always gonna be able to heal himself back up after every Tidebringer.
Taking a couple of hits down the bottom lane, but yeah, I mean, it's all about just trying to get the Morphling low enough, force him to morph a bit of Agi, morph a bit of Strength Story, and try and reduce his right click damage, basically, which GPK will try and do his best. I mean, it's kind of an interesting lane here because obviously, just between the 2 players, I think they're very similar in play style and in terms of, you know, Thompson was that up-and-coming talent about 3 years ago. GPK has been tagged by just about everybody now as one of the most exciting.
That bottom?
Ooh, getting very low, yeah, on this Beastmaster. Forced to back himself away, but will be okay.
Yeah, they're like 1 bash away from getting a kill onto Seb there, but he does have the Fairy Fire. You know, we see that quite often these days, even if they look very close to kills. He's actually going to TP back to base, and Nota's going to bring him back bottom.
Oh yes, that's a lovely combination, isn't it? I mean, these guys, they've clearly done their research on these lanes and say, yeah, okay, this is gonna be very nice. You might take a bit of harass. All good. Just bungee cord him back to base and bring him straight back again. Similar to what GPK can do on this Kunkka as well once he gets that extra signature. So far, a pretty sleepy lane phase. Let's have a little visit to the top lane, which you haven't talked about so much with Dota. He's just being Morphling in middle lane. Nothing really exciting going on here. So yeah, Saxa kind of playing around the poles with save. Looks like mid one is having a slow start, but it looks like they've been pretty successful in disrupting the creep wave here for the side of VP up at top.
Yeah, ET did pull the second wave behind the tier 1 tower, managed to deny some creeps there. So Alchemist is feeling just a little bit awkward. You know, his levels is gonna fall behind, but that's okay. I think OG, they're not too concerned about winning the lanes, but more as getting at the laning stage, maybe like 50-50. Play for their mid-game timings where their heroes, you know, with all the buffs and such, are gonna start to explode.
Hopefully, that's we love to see a bit of explosions, a little bit of dynamic gameplay coming out, and that's what both of these teams are most certainly going to offer in this game. It's interesting as well. We were actually talking about the Magnus before the game started, and you were saying that you weren't really expecting to see a whole lot of Mag, or at least it hasn't been popular in the high MMR games. But Virtus Pro clearly still stuck in this Mag meta here. Do you think this hero works well in the off lane?
Well, in competitive play, it's always going to be a top hero because it applies so much mental pressure onto your enemies. What I was trying to tell you was a lot of people have figured out how to play against Magnus because it's been so popular for such a long time. And I think this Alchemist pick could be one of those heroes that OG realized, hey, if we can farm faster than the Magnus, then it doesn't matter if they have the Magnus, right? So we're going to see how that's going to play out for them very, very soon.
Very close in the mid lane as well as Thompson tries to
bottom.
the
No
DD.
tilt.
Just about managed to grab it. But yeah, no tilt getting real low. Might be your first blood, and they will bring him down. Ilias and then like the kid get the kill at last down in the bottom lane. It is a lot of damage when this Enchantress goes from the impetus point in the level 2, and fortunately Notel figured that one out the hard way.
Yeah, and Notel can't actually take over the big creeps the Enchantress can get early on because Holy Persuasion needs to be leveled up. So these Hellbear Smashers and the neck creeps, they don't really have any answers to them apart from trying to kill them.
Meanwhile, a lot of pressure being put up in the top lane as well onto the Radiant Heroes as the creep comes under their tower. They will be okay though.
Here we go.
Yeah, so mid one and Saxter fighting pretty hard for its save. He wants to interrupt, but he knows that he can't without throwing his life away. But meanwhile, VP will be able to grab at least one down at bottom. And yeah, it's just going to be a 2 for 2, so nothing overexciting for OG. They would like to get more, but with the heroes they've got, that's not really much of a possibility. So the GPK and Thompson just kind of trading hits at mid lane as per usual.
You get nothing.
Very, very tricky for this small thing to actually fool this mid lane to a conquer. But he is doing very well when it comes to CS though. 27-7 to 50, and wow, he's doing really well, GPK actually.
Oh yeah, it's been a very interesting matchup, man. GPK has been landing so many torrents on Thompson, and he's been trying to dodge them as well, but the pressure is just so endless from GPK in this lane. He is showing exactly why he's rank 1 in EU matchmaking.
Guy is pretty good at this video game. I think that's fair to say, and Thompson's finding this one out as they get into this one. Yeah, so he's going to have to try and find some recovery somewhere. Will that come from the jungle, or will it be the classic Thompson gameplay of just kind of fighting? Saxon actually able to grab the illusion rune here, saving GPK. Are they going to actually be able to bring him down? I mean, they're not actually able to do anything to him. Saxon's just allowed to take the illusion rune and walk away from 2 heroes. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, this bottle, I mean, they're not going to be too worried about the illusion rune being taken from the Rubik, but it's quite awkward that you're not able to... If that was like an Arcane or an Invis, maybe that's like a very big game-changing rune for Burst Pro Prodigy. And you were asking earlier about Morphling. Is he going to fight his way back into this game? Well, yeah. I think their timing is not quite yet. Maybe he can rotate bottom with Seb's level 6 and try to take this bottom tower. But for the most part, OG, they're really looking to just take objectives and make some space for Alchemy, so that he can bring himself into this game first. You can't really actively look for fights if you're OG at the moment, unless it's like on objectives.
Yeah, and with that being said, I mean, Thompson just made a huge comeback in the middle lane after getting about 2 or 3 waves of uncontested creeps. He's been able to just rocket back up in CS to be neck and neck with GPK once again. So there you go, that narrative unwound itself just as quickly as it came up. There we go. Very volatile middle lane at this point.
Yeah, and GPK, he's really looking for some kind of a rotation that he can make, because there's nothing he can do to his Morphling anymore. He's already level 7, pretty much impossible to kill for him. So a rune into a TP, maybe to the Beastmaster's lane, or waiting for the Void to hit level 6 so they can connect that Chronosphere plus the ship. That could be the play here. But while we're looking at bottom lane, and the pressure OG is applying, mid one has just been farming in the jungle. He just farmed like a triple stack over here. He is so happy right now.
Yeah, living the dream. Top of the CS chart, top of the net worth chart as well, obviously, because he is an alchemist. and starting things off with this Void Stone as his second item after the phase boost. So clearly just wants the mana to spam out these acid sprays and these chemical rages, and along with the chemical rage, he's going to have a lot of mana regen to just kind of be sticky in this jungle and stay on that.
When people do pick Alchemist nowadays, they just go for that Battle Fury build over the Radiance. The Radiance just costs way too much, and it gives too many opportunities for your opponent to try and kill you, where the Battle Fury builds up really nicely, gives you the small boost with every item that you purchase as well to help you jungle up. And we're gonna see a very quick Battle Fury at this point if VP don't actually get a kill on Zop right here.
Moving up into the Alchemist here, mid one's going to be the target, the boat's coming on down, but it's pretty tanky, but the boat comes crashing through, and mid one is going to get finished off by GPK and saved. Nice rotation from the two of them, nice combination of spells, and that is going to put an end to the Alchemist in the jungle. Great little play there by VP. Oh, and I love this as well, immediately moving up top, looking to put pressure on this tier 1 tower. I mean, if you take this tier 1 tower early enough, then you're just going to open up this entire jungle, and this Alchemist is suddenly going to start to feel very suffocated. And there's 4 heroes up here. I mean, most of the team are up, taking down the tier 1. OG's answer, well, they're going to pressure bottom at the same time, and Zed can do exactly that, but this team is going to be pretty upset about losing that safe lane tier 1 tower. Let's hope they have a counterplay in mind for it.
Yeah, it's a very difficult tower to defend for OG as well with the heroes that they have. They're quite good at going on the offensive on enemy towers, not so good at defending their own at the moment. Meanwhile, Morphling was farming middle, shoving that lane in too, so he was getting some free time over there. I think OG is quite content with making these trades at the moment. It's very valuable for them to open up the map because they do have 2 carries pretty much on the side of OG.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing right there. You were saying it's very greedy from the side of OG. This Morphling and Alchemist. Both these guys are going to need a bit of space. I mean, one's not really going to be able to create too much space when Ilias just comes in and takes its Alchemist creep. He enchants one of them and then kills the other.
Got a haste rune. Is he looking for something? Oh, free bounty rune. Okay. We're good with that.
Yeah. DM, you should have gone to the bounty rune in 10 minutes. He could actually be in some trouble here. Thompson with his haste rune, just going to keep on following this Magnus. Hey buddy, what's up? RP! Drop from DM just at the right time. I mean, it's not the happiest way, although if they turn it into a kill, it would be the happiest way to use it. Let's see what they can do to Thompson.
That's all.
Spirit Vessel's actually out onto him. Where did that come from? Thompson, he's suddenly in a whole world of difficulty, going for the TP out onto the high ground. Nothing to stop him doing that, and he is going to get himself away. So that's going to be the RP put to waste, and a really nice space-making play from Thompson there. Yeah, that is the Conquer Spirit Vessel come out very early, but I mean, not getting a kill with that first charge is definitely disappointing with GPK.
Yeah, that patience from Thompson, waiting for the mom, getting that stun off, and then waving out and TPing. No chrono from Epileptic Kid. They're gonna go for the mid tower here on Radiant side. They do have the chrono available. No ship though. It's a pretty big spell that they're missing.
Yeah, 40 seconds still until that one is there. No RP, no ship, only Chronosphere. But they just feel like they're stronger due to the fact that, you know, they're playing into Morphling and Alchemist. These 2 heroes do not want to be on the map too much right now. But right now, OG are getting away with this draft considerably.
They are. And they made so many stacks as well. Look at the ancient stacks right now on OG's side. And they also stacked the big camp. Mid one was only able to get a big camp at the moment, but once he does get that Battle Fury, he will finish that ancient stack. And they're going to make a smoke play, maybe try to use this roar at least once here. He doesn't have Necro Book though, so I'm not sure how much damage output these 2 heroes alone have, but they will be able to get some vision out instead with the smoke. That's good enough, right? You're not really looking for these big engagements if you're OG. You're kind of just still waiting on your timings of your 2 cores, and getting these 2 wards on the bottom side is going to make it really hard for VP to penetrate this triangle.